Alrighty. I was expecting to do a video, Mormons are cowards, haters, and hypocrites. And then this morning came around and I was going, we'll wait a little while. And so I did my morning routine and then got to checking out my website or my YouTube channel. And so yeah, 105 views since yesterday. Let me go back and see how many hours. 19 hours, so doing fairly well at the beginning here. Whoops. However, I get on here, and sure enough, Mormons are cowards, haters, and hypocrites. There are 5 thumbs down. Are you kidding me? If I'm not mistaken, I quote Joseph Smith, Mormons. What is your problem? You hate Joseph Smith now? Mormons hate Joseph Smith. Mormons are cowards, haters, hypocrites. They hate Joseph Smith. They hate President Benson. I thought you guys loved the prophets. I thought you guys were waiting to follow the orders of your prophets. And apparently not. You hate them. So, alright, whatever. You hate the Book of Mormon. I quoted the Book of Mormon. So you hate the Book of Mormon. I thought you guys got up in testimony meetings every first Sunday of the month and say, oh, I love the Book of Mormon. Therefore I'm crying and it's true. And so, but I did have one guy go off the rails yesterday. He must have been drunk or something. But, you know, you give people an inch, they take you a mile. I replied to his comment 17 hours ago where he says, effects are items of property, your wallet, your purchase, your computer, your purse, your computer, your phone, all items of property. And I replied with, yes, guns too. Because in the video I go over the Bill of Rights, which apparently Mormons hate. Mormons hate the Bill of Rights. 5 thumbs down already. What does that say, Mormons? You guys hate. You hate the prophets. You hate the Book of Mormon. You hate the church. You hate the Constitution. You hate Jesus. What else is it to say, Mormons? And so, anyway, this Stephen Cullenborn, after I replied, because it was 11 hours ago when I replied to him, finally finishing off my my comments for the day, and apparently there's a ton left, mostly in part due to this Stephen Cullenborn who just went off. And so at 10 hours, he does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different replies. Oh man, but he got placed below when pigs fly, so good for that. But I mean, Stephen, come on, or is it Stefan? You know, the one thing I am concerned with, you know, he is trying to show, hey, we need to bring communism into America to help the poor and the needy. And he's talking about how he wants to do it. And I'm okay with people doing that. You know, communism doesn't work, guys. Socialism doesn't work either, depending on how you want to call it, name it. But he goes after Democrats as being stupid, though. So they don't know how to practice socialism, he says. But the one thing that kind of worries me is when he finally got around to saying, I'm going to expose these liars in our government who make us suffer. So exposing those in government as liars is one thing. Seeking revenge is another. You see, you notice that I'm using the social media platform to expose the government, the church, etc. So is Stephen saying that he's going to go back to his own channel to do these exposings? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Stephen. But I don't want you doing it on my channel. This is my channel, my platform. If you want to do your little propaganda campaign for socialism, do it on your channel. You know, so I'm not going to delete anything here. I don't see any reason why. You're not attacking me. You're not being abusive, other than saying Democrats are stupid, but you follow it up with a reason why they're stupid. Because they don't know how to practice socialism, and you go through your other comments saying how you would do it. Sort of. You need to work on your presentation. Alright, other than that, the other Mormons have stayed away from commenting and just put 5 thumbs down. Mormons hate the Book of Mormon. They hate Jesus. They hate the prophets. They hate the church. They hate me. So they're cowards, haters, and hypocrites. We need people to stand up. We need people to rise up. You know, just a protest at the border yesterday is not going to be enough. It's not going to make change. You know, that's what the government did to silence the civil rights movement. You know, blacks and women silenced. They caved as they made it believe that, oh, we gave women and blacks rights in the Constitution with amendments. What more do they want? They actually want us to follow through with it? Are you kidding? So, yeah, women still don't have their rights. Blacks still don't have their rights. They're still slaves. You know, but that's why they gave them amendments, is to shut them up. Here, be done with you. And it worked. There are no civil rights movements. They're all silenced. And anybody who protests, they have to be zoned far away from interfering. You know, as a result, the government says, oh, okay, yeah, they're over there. Yeah, who cares? I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And that's what the government does. You know, you have to have a civil rights revolutionary movement in order to get things done. Protests don't work. We saw that with Jeff Flake from Arizona, the Mormon boy. Gets cornered in an elevator by a woman saying, I am a victim of a sexual assault, and la 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 la, and he's cornered in an elevator. She wouldn't let him leave. And so then he comes into the hearing of Kavanaugh and says, you know, I've been thinking maybe we should hold off and reevaluate things. And so they reevaluate things. He stops it, postpones things, and then they come back for a vote, and Flake votes for Kavanaugh. That's how they work, guys. So, they don't care about us. They don't care about our rights. They don't want us having rights. They don't want the Constitution. That's why they keep changing it. That's why they keep making laws that violate it. They don't like the Constitution. And apparently 5 Mormons agree with them. Mormons hate the Constitution. Mormons hate the presidents of the church. Mormons hate Benson and Nelson and Joseph Smith. They hate, hate, hate. Here a hate, there a hate, everywhere a hate, hate. It's just unbelievable. They hate the Book of Mormon. Because that's the only thing I can figure here, Mormons. See, I didn't come out and slam Mormons in this video. I'm pretty sure. Because I quote Joseph Smith in pictures. And I use song. Mormons will recognize the song I use in this video. I thought it was very clever of me. I've got another one planned for my picture video of the brass plates, the original document. I'm going to do a picture video of the whole the whole original source documents of the brass plates, and I've got the perfect song that I'm going to do for it. And so, be looking forward to that today. But I've got to deal with some financial problems today. So there may be some pause and hesitation in my internet service and direct TV service. So yeah, if you don't know, I use this also as a journal entry page. So yeah, CenturyLink. I paid the bill for the month early, and everything's fine, I thought. However, I was unaware that on the 6th and the 13th, CenturyLink is showing up on my bank account as having taken out $25. I didn't give them the $25 permission to take it out. What's going on? And in the thing, it's saying $175 is expected to be taken out at the end. And so, let's see, 13th, so 20th, tomorrow, I'm expecting that they'll strike again if I don't deal with it today. And so, I don't know what's going on, because CenturyLink is showing that it's not them. My account on the internet says I'm all paid up. There's nothing owing. So why then are they taking $25 each week for the past 2 weeks now? Something's not right. And as I've indicated in the other video, Russians are emerging. And one is going all out to find and communicate with me. Messiah Ben Joseph said he's known this guy since 2013, and he thinks he's harmless, but says that he's a Russian lawyer. Just like the Russian lawyer who arranged the Trump Tower meeting, who then went on a news report and said, "Yes, I am Russian agent." Yeah. I'm sorry, Messiah Ben Joseph. I know you know him, but we're under attack by Russia now. I don't know if people understand that. Because the 2011 Russian elections, Vladimir Putin blames America for interfering in. He also blames America for interfering in the 2012 elections, which Putin finally won. And it was a 6-year term that was changed in 2012. And then you have Putin, who blames the United States for interfering with his election. And so who then appears in Russia in June of 2013 as Sister Russell M. Nelson announces in the youth fireside, "Oh yeah, we took a trip to Russia. I talked to the girls, and they all said they were from a different tribe, and there were 11 tribes represented in Russia." Seems harmless until you understand that under Putin, the Russian mafia runs the nation. Under Putin, he runs Russia as a mafia organization. The Russian mafia controls it. Because I think it's 2013 that the History Channel did a video on the Russian mafia of Putin. And I have the clip of that announcement, or that introduction for that History Channel video documentary on the Russian compromat of President Nelson. And so if you don't understand how evil works, you're going as a lamb to the slaughter into the jaws of death. You don't just visit Russia because, oh, it would be so nice, we can see Russia and it'd be fun. No. It's like going into a back alley as a white person in the South Bronx in the middle of the night. You just don't do that. You don't say, oh, it'll be a nice cultural experience. We can learn about the culture of the people. Maybe they'll do a song and dance for us and entertain us. Yeah, they'll entertain you all right. And so, yeah. So Nelson and his wife went to Russia right after Putin wins the election in 2012. So what do you think Putin is going to be doing? They're going to get documentary evidence on everybody, recordings, transcripts, phone calls, all of it bugged, all of it wired, everything monitored. That's how they work. And once they've got that, Nelson's the American church president. Do you understand how the world sees the church? The church is not a world religion in the eyes of the world. It is an American church. And if Putin blames America for interfering in their election, and an American church representative comes to Russia, you guys can put 2 and 2 together here. They've got him recorded. Even if they were staying at the stake president's house there in Russia, they have his house bugged. That's what they do. Because his travel itinerary notified Russian intelligence that he was coming. So they made sure to prepare. This is how the mafia works in Russia. And once they've got the photographs, once they've got the videos, they've got the technology to manipulate them. And if they don't catch you doing something stupid or wrong, they'll create a fake picture, a fake video that will demonstrate that you have done something wrong. And they will hold it against you when they want something from you. And so isn't it interesting that Nelson now becomes the president of the church? Do you think that the Russians just said, oh, okay, well, he's not really the leader at this time in 2013. I guess we'll just throw away all this stuff on him. No! They hold on to it. And they will use it on him. And they most definitely have. They're controlling Nelson. How do I know that? because in the first general conference, he canceled home teaching. People are not getting visited now. Oh yes, there's the ministry program, and in our ward, they're sort of like turning it into home teaching. They can't really do away with home teaching. They're struggling on that. I, however, have not been visited by home teachers because my original home teachers were stopped. And so, the new home teachers or the new ministers are I'm forgetting his Philip Smith, and he was the Elders Quorum president at one point in time when I first got here, and so they assigned him all the tough cases because he married a woman with several autistic boys, and so he's used to handling tough cases. He's not very good at it. Sorry, Philip, you're just not. But he gets assigned the tough cases as a result. And then they gave a new guy, who I don't know him, so he's a new move-in, I guess. And he came with his wife and little girl. And a cute couple, cute little girl, of course. And she gave me cookies, and I, of course, wondered why she would be able to part with those cookies. Parents assured me that she had plenty more at home. But yeah, he's clueless about who I am and what they've done to him by assigning me as the minister. But yeah, I haven't heard from him since. He just gave me his number, and if you need anything, call. Yeah, So, what a joke. But, yeah, not just stopping visiting of members. He also did some other stuff. But the big one. See, this was also, you notice April. That's when he announced the Russian temple. Go to my stats video. That's lagging in views lately. My stats video points this out. There is no justification for a temple in Russia. You can say, oh, everybody needs a temple, and they all need temples. That's not how it works in the church. You have to have a certain number of members who pay tithing in order to justify a temple in the area. If you don't have enough members, you're not generating enough tithing, because tithing goes to build temples. There's nowhere near. They're like a third of what's needed in order to justify a temple in Russia. And that's with all the members in Russia. They're wanting to focus it in one area, which means everybody has to then travel to wherever this temple is supposedly going to be built. They still haven't got a plot of land yet. Remember, he said, in a place to yet be determined. That's code word for Russians say, yes, we'll build you a temple in Russia. You just do things for us first. We'll make you an offer you can't refuse. This is not good, Mormons. This is not good. You don't announce a temple in Russia with no just cause for having a temple in Russia. But that's not the big announcement. He had something bigger, which indicated he's compromised by Russia. And nobody caught it. None of the priesthood even caught it. They're just like, oh, okay, he's chastising us for giving prayers instead of blessings. We're not actually healing anybody. We're not actually performing miracles. I've had Ask my second wife. She'll tell you all about it. Although she's been removed from me, which is why I'm going after the church full force here. And so, nobody caught it. I've done the videos on it, and Mormons are outraged. He took away your exaltation. He didn't take away the high priesthood from the high priests. He let them keep it, but he downgraded them to the elders' quorum. There is now only an elders' quorum. There is no high priest group. You don't become a high priest anymore unless you become a leader, which means all elders will never receive the high priesthood. Go to section 76, Mormons. Look it over. You have to be a priest of the order of Melchizedek in order to become celestial. You know how they talk about prospective elders? You know, if you're not an elder, you're a prospective elder. And if you die as a prospective elder and you don't care to be a part of anything else in the church, that's it. And all ordinances have to be done on earth, otherwise forget it. You have to be married on earth. If you don't get married on earth, you can't go to the highest degree of the celestial kingdom. That's Mormon doctrinal theology. You know, people say, oh, but I didn't get a chance. Well, you have to wait in the spirit world until someone on earth does it for you by proxy. That's how it works. God's not just going to say at the judgment bar, oh, well, it wasn't done on earth, but you're a good person. Okay, we'll let you in. We'll let it slide this time. It doesn't work that way in Mormon doctrine, guys. You can't change it with your feelings. You can't tell the prophets how to run their own religion. And so, as a result, Mormons don't get it. My ex-wife didn't get it. My second ex-wife didn't get it. You know, she goes back and forth on that. She gets confused. The doctrine of the church confuses her because everybody's speaking different doctrines in the church, and it's confusing her. All right, but yeah, he took away exaltation, because if it's for the men, guess what, women? It's for you too. You've already had it taken from you. You get to go to heaven or to the celestial kingdom thanks to the mercy of being married to a man. But now, a man can't go either. So none of you get to go. You know, yes, you go through the temple rituals where you become a king and a high priest. They don't say high priest, they just say priest. It's a high priest because it's after the order of Melchizedek. That's a high priest. And so you go through the rituals. You get anointed as a king and a high priest, which is called a Christ. I've already done this video. The one about Mormons are perfect, even though the church demeans them. And so women, you were already perfect. You already received the priesthood. You get it in the temple because you become a queen and a high priestess. You've got the priesthood, but the church won't let you take it out of the temple. They say, hey, once you leave the temple, you can't not exercise your high priestessship. It stays in the temple. And so women in the church have been suppressed, oppressed, regressed, digressed, all those resses. And like I told you in the Brigham Young video, that By Brigham Young's fruits, you will know the Church of Jesus Christ. Brigham Young put in the covenant that women must obey their husbands, or the woman must commit suicide. And in that video, I tell you why Brigham Young changed it to that. He was a little upset with a certain wife who didn't want to be his wife. And so he sought revenge on all women. Okay, so I don't want to go too long on this. So yeah, Mormons, you are pure haters. I'm seeing the evidence for myself. You hate the church. You hate the Book of Mormon. You hate Jesus. You hate the prophets. So what's wrong with you? What's going on, Mormons? It's time to rise up and save the nation. It's time to save the Constitution. And instead, you guys want to hate me. I'm not the focus of your anger. I'm not the cause of your problems, financially, religious, governmental. So what's wrong with you? Stop.